Good morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, Princetontrader.com, here with your Thursday market webcast. Okay, daily chart. Yesterday we talked about this. We talked about how important the 20-day simple moving average, the middle Bollinger Band, the green line here was going to be as far as whether this was going to convert from a buy dips tape into a sell rallies tape. The bears had their chances yesterday. We were below the daily mid-band. We were below the 20-day for quite some time. I'll show you the hourly chart. This isn't even a 5-minute chart. This is an hourly chart I'm about to show you. So the green line here, this is the daily mid-band. So for parts of, during the regular session, the whole afternoon, 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, steadily lower lows, they couldn't hold it. The trouble started before the close. Then you had NVIDIA came out. They whipped it right back down, did a low here, 73.25. Our marker was 74 because it was the daily mid-band. That had been our bull-bear line all day. Whenever we put bull-bear lines in the room, those are things where you really want to be long above and you want to be short below. Spend a lot of the day short below, but it's just nothing you could really hold on to. And then you're in a situation where you're just kind of grabbing what you can get, which for a minute there was 82, and then it came back in and ended up being in the 77. So subscribers are riding a really nice trade right now that we still have 2/3 sitting on as we're just bleeding up to new highs up at 66. So it turns into a nice positional trade. I hate the word swing trade, but it's a positional trade at this point from that key area. And it could have just as easily, it could have just as easily been a short if it had gone the other way. But that 20-day was the key area. And, as we go back, I just want to peek at the daily one more time. So you had kind of a test here. You had almost a test here. This came in shallow. We talked about that yesterday. And then we spent two sessions, trying to see if that 20-day could be resistance, and then that would default the tape, at least in our mind, in our method, to a sell rallies tape from a buy dips tape. And you can see the consequences of when that doesn't happen. Then square one, baseline assumption is buy dips. The dip was bought here. Can it take this out? I have no idea. I don't know. I just work here. We'll have to see what price wants to do. What I do know is that after this type of a test, it's pretty common to go ahead and touch the upper Bollinger Band. And I'm not really going out on some massive limb here. The upper Bollinger Band is what? That's 83, 84. I mean, if it gets some momentum going throughout the day, it could. Now, they tried that last time. They tried it here, and they tried it here, and they couldn't get it done. So would I be surprised if the bear stepped in at some point before then and prevented that from happening? No. And then you really have to see what it wants to do. Does it want to consolidate up there? Does it want to pull back in? If it does pull in, is it anything you can really hold? The first sign of trouble yesterday was any short you were in, they were whipping it down hard and almost immediately rejecting it. So there was a bid all day yesterday. It was a bid while the tape was kind of gliding to the downside, which sucks all these people in. These people that love to be short, that love to tweet out and talk about being short and how great it is to do this and great it is to do that. They get complacent, they lean in too hard, and then they take it right back in their face, and all of a sudden you're up, trading. I'm doing this at 6:20 in the morning, kind of an early start for me on Thursday. 6:20 in the morning Eastern time. We just printed 64.5. And we may print all-time highs before I decide to shut my mouth this morning. I don't know. What I am telling you is, in this type of a tape, and I'm leaving this daily chart up here for a reason, in this type of a tape, where dips continue to be bought at key areas, you absolutely can be short. You can. But you have to identify that it's counter trend, that it's a trade, not a lifestyle. And when it starts to do things like not be able to get through the green line on a consistent basis, on a multi-day basis, there's a new all-time high. Here and then here, you have to make the adjustment as a trader. You can't continue to bang that square peg into that round hole because you want to be right more than you want to make money. Don't want to be right more than you want to make money. When you flip that sentence in your head, it changes a lot of things as a trader, and it gives you a chance to actually grow your account instead of just throwing things at a tape, banging your head, and then pounding the table the one time out of 10 that you're right and everybody else is wrong. Being a contrarian is not a long-term success strategy for traders. It's just not. It is not. Time has borne that out. So like I said, you can absolutely be short. We were short all kinds of different areas here on the way down. The hourly mid-band was fantastic resistance. But when it launches back through here, and especially when it comes back here and turns that into support, you got to find a way. I didn't know it was going to do all that. You never do. But what you do know is that they can't take out the green line. And until they can, it's a buy. So you got volume weighted average price. Everything's kind of stretched out here a bit as we go into the open. You got VWAP down at 50.42, proprietary moving averages at 56. We're in blue sky. And the hardest thing about, we talked about this yesterday. The hardest thing about blue sky trades are they feel terrible until they don't. So if they pull this back, and they will, because there's going to be some profit taking, they're going to come back and visit some of these areas. If they pull back, then and they're creating a higher low, then you're basically going to have to make a determination as to whether you want to be long. Do it in a risk-responsible fashion, but just understand, if they start to slow bleed this thing to the upside, every entry is going to feel like crap. And throwing darts at shorts is always going to feel better, and they just dangle that out in front of you, dangle it out in front of you, dangle it out in front of you. And one of them will work. The 8 before that won't. And if it's too choppy, don't tear yourself up today. I'm wondering if they ring the bell on this thing today and everything slows down. So be careful. Be careful. This might be, all the funds in Globex type of a deal. Okay? There's certainly going to be a big gap. The question is, can it proceed or can it pull back? And if it doesn't want to do either, I think you got to take a big step back today and just be patient. All right. Have a fantastic day. Be safe, be healthy, take care, trade them well. I'm back with you tomorrow. Follow us over on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Princetontrader. Check us out on Facebook and join us for a free trial at www.princetontrader.com. Trade them well.